TLDM sets up investigation board following death of 2 personnel. More may be questioned over PTPK graft probe. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News on 2. A Malaysian student was killed in a road accident in South Sulawesi in Makassar, Indonesia yesterday. Malaysian ambassador to Indonesia, Datuk Seri Zahran Muhammad Hashim, when contacted, said the victim, Shahira Amiruddin, 22, from Shah Alam, was a medical student in Hasanuddin University in Makassar. It was reported that the victim and her 2 siblings, Surya Iskandar Amiruddin, 25, and Shazwani Amiruddin, 22, who were visiting her, were riding on motorcycles when they collided with a car at around 4 p.m. local time. The victim was reported to have died at the scene due to severe head injuries, while her 2 siblings, who were seriously injured, have been admitted to Dr. Wahidin Sudirohusodo Hospital in Makassar. The victim's family was informed of the incident by her sibling via WhatsApp. Datuk Seri Zahran said the MC would assist in sending back Shahira's remains to Malaysia as requested by her family. The Royal Malaysian Navy, TLDM, has set up an investigation board following the death of 2 personnel during physical training yesterday. TLDM, in a statement today, said police are currently investigating the cause of the deaths and TLDM would give their full cooperation to the police. The TLDM added that the investigation board will scrutinize the existing standard operating procedure, SOP, and should there be any breach, they will not compromise nor harbour the culprit responsible. Yesterday, 2 TLDM personnel, LK1PNK Muhammad Baihaki Nikmat, aged 28, and LKI TLS Muhammad Laila Tulman Muhammad Sukri, aged 26, passed away at Bilik Tahanan Unit Sungai Wangi, Setiawan, Perak, while undergoing physical training at the camp. According to a statement, the 2 trainees had complained of exhaustion and were told to rest before they began vomiting and had difficulty breathing. The staff at the centre rendered treatment and made an emergency call. However, paramedics confirmed upon arrival at 3:15 p.m. that both personnel had already died. An initial examination by the doctor on duty found no sign of physical trauma or abuse on the bodies of both personnel. The MACC is still studying Human Resources Minister Datuk Seri Richard Riott's statement in its probe into the alleged misappropriation of some 40 million ringgit from the Skills Development Fund Corp PTPK. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Zulkifli Ahmad also suggested the possibility of summoning more witnesses to assist in the investigation.
Itu masih lagi dalam siasatan. Dia beri masa lah kepada kami untuk menjalankan siasatan, untuk melengkapkan siasatan. Dan ada beberapa lagi yang masih dalam tahanan pun. Dan beri ruang untuk kita orang MACC menjalankan siasatan untuk melengkapkan siasatan tersebut.
Yesterday, Datuk Seri Richard came to MACC's headquarters in Putrajaya at around 10 a.m. to give his statement into misappropriation of funds of the PTPK. 5 people have so far been detained over the case, including Datuk Seri Richard's political secretary. All the suspects are said to have collaborated with the company director to siphon the government allocations over the past 2 years. In another development, Tan Sri Zulkifli said the MACC has started the screening process of the election candidates for the 14th general election GE14. He stated that once the result of the screening is out, it will be up to the party to make the decision on the candidates.
Saya telah nyatakan bahawa apa-apa saringan itu kita akan buat dan kita akan maklumkanlah kepada parti-parti yang berkenaan yang menyerahkan nama-nama tersebut. Kita akan kembalikan dan terpulanglah kepada parti-parti politik itu untuk mengambil tindakan. Ini rahsialah.
He noted that the MACC will only run background checks on election candidates and not their family members in its vetting process. The 500 RELA officers and personnel in Sabah to be deployed to assist security forces in the Eastern Sabah Security Zone as zone will also be assisting other security agencies. Home Ministry's Deputy Secretary General Security, Datuk Seri Mustafa Ibrahim, said the RELA teams will be selected from locals residing in the S-Zone area. Datuk Seri Mustafa said the RELA officers and personnel will serve as second liners to patrol 10 districts in the S-Zone coastline stretching over 1,700 kilometers.
Anggota-anggota rela yang berada di kawasan S-Zone, iaitu 10 daerah di negeri Sabah, untuk membuat kawalan keselamatan komuniti di kawasan-kawasan berkenaan supaya setiap ancaman yang berlaku di sana di kawasan S-Zone itu dapat ditangani oleh masyarakat.
He said this at a rank commissioning ceremony for the bridged Rela Siswa Siswi Relasis at Padang Kawat Polytechnic Seberang Perai in Pulau Pinang. He said this in reference to the announcement made by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who is also Home Minister, in deploying 500 Rela members in Sabah to assist security forces in S-Zone. Judicial and legislative officials handling child sexual crimes would be required to undergo a specialized training on how to cross-examine and obtain information from victims. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Azalina Othman said through the training, the expertise and skills of the officials can be enhanced, leading to a smoother court procedure.
Kalau negara lain, contoh negara barat, kadang dia satu bahasa dia kan. Dia mungkin komunikasi dia dalam dia punya English language. Padahal dalam negara kita ni pelbagai bahasa. Kemudian kita juga mengkaji tentang umur kanak-kanak tersebut. Kalau umur dia lebih rendah, tentang prosedur. Sebab ada kanak-kanak tu dia boleh bercakap, ada yang mungkin pada umur yang tidak boleh bercakap. Itu yang perlu kita mengkaji. Kemudian tertakluk juga bagi kanak-kanak yang tidak boleh bercakap ataupun yang tidak boleh, yang mempunyai kurang keupayaan dalam beberapa aspek.
She said this during a JPJ program in Felda Sening, Kota Tinggi, Johor. Datuk Seri Azalina recently chaired the working committee meeting to provide special guidelines for handling child sexual crime cases. The committee will conduct a comprehensive study so the guidelines would meet the needs and wants of child witnesses and be in line with the best international practices. Computerized Vehicle Inspection Centre, Puspakom, are allowed to open branches in areas without such services with the collaboration of selected vehicle workshop operators. Deputy Transport Minister Dato' Abdul Aziz Kaprawi said the service is expected to be enforced next month. Dato' Abdul Aziz said this service will be expanded nationwide, especially in rural areas. He added that no additional charge will be imposed, although it is provided by the private sector.
Kita telah memberi kebenaran kepada Puspakom untuk dia melantik syarikat-syarikat workshop ni yang sedia ada. Jadi workshop ni dia boleh extend dia punya perkhidmatan kepada Puspakom. Tetapi mereka perlu mematuhi guideline yang disediakan oleh pihak Puspakom.
He said this during a press conference at the Jempol District 1 Community 1 JPJ SKSJ 2017 closing ceremony in Jempol, Negeri Sembilan today. Johor Department of Environment will continue to monitor a chemical processing plant in Pasir Gudang suspected to be the culprit causing odor pollution in the neighbouring country of Singapore. The department will also be monitoring water and air pollution in the same affected area. Johor Health, Environment, Education and Information Committee Chairman Dato' Ayub Rahmat said the ministry had directed the factory involved to speed up the repair work of the plant equipment, which is the source of the pollution.
Alam kita sentiasa dalam pemantauan secara dekat hari ke hari untuk memastikan bahawa apa yang disarankan oleh Jabatan Alam Sekitar itu akan dilakukan dengan segera.
Dato' Ayub was speaking to reporters after officiating the Clean Up the Beach PBT campaign in Tanjung Sedili, Kota Tinggi, Johor. He elaborated that the odor pollution occurred due to intermittent wind factors. On September 20th, a chemical processing plant in Pasir Gudang was engulfed in flames, which resulted from a small fire at the plant's cable and motor section. As a result, the automatic gas detection system was damaged and could only function manually. Last Monday, a number of residents in some areas of Singapore had to contend with the strong chemical stench believed to come from the industrial area in Johor. Over 1 million residents from the rural areas across the country will have the opportunity to get internet access through the Connect Converge CTU, an initiative of the National Blue Ocean Strategy and BOSS, which is being implemented by the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, MCMC. MCMC Secretary General Tan Sri Dr. Sharifah Zahra Said Ahmad said that through the digitization and communication-oriented service delivery, the people will have access to online services, sources of information and entertainment, in addition to having income-generating opportunities through online business. Since September 2016, 130,000 people in rural areas have internet access through 37 CTU projects, which involves the installation of 366 satellite broadcasting decoders and the construction of 26 telecommunication towers. Tan Sri Dr. Sharifah Zahra said the program was a government initiative involving various parties, including the private sector.
Jadi kosnya menjadi rendah, impaknya tinggi dan dari segi pelaksanaannya begitu cepat sekali. Jadi dia terlalu unik lah untuk sesuatu yang kita laksanakan sekarang. Kita tidak lagi orang kata bergelut di dalam red ocean, tetapi kita menggunakan NBOS iaitu strategi lautan biru ya.
She was speaking in the Consolidating and Connect MCMC program in Kampung Johor Machang, Kelantan. She also presented donations to 30 local residents in the form of daily necessities, televisions, Astro decoders and My TV decoders as an effort towards cultivating an information society. It's thus reducing the communicational gap in the rural population to achieve the goal of building the information society. Coming up, Malaysia to raise export of tuna to Japan to 30,000 metric tons per year. The rapid pace of development in Kuala Lumpur is providing unique challenges and opportunities for architects, urban planners and designers to fully integrate it as an iconic Southeast Asian city. Dean of Harvard University Graduate School of Design, Mohsen Mostafavi, said a holistic approach is needed to optimize access and usage of public spaces and critical transit infrastructure in the city. Mohsen said Kuala Lumpur is an impressive global city, but land and areas for development are becoming scarce in light of a rapid pace of development.
We need the kind of space that really brings people together. This is why we've been focusing so much on the public realm and really the spaces of the city that are the focus of the in-between, the buildings, the new kinds of gathering spaces. That's a very exciting thing to be thinking about for KL for the future.
He said this when met at the Kuala Lumpur Designing the Public Realm exhibition and forum. The ongoing exhibition, a joint initiative by ACON, an urban planning consultant, and the Harvard University Graduate School of Design, is open until next Thursday at the Palm Center located in Bangsar in the nation's capital. Kumpulan Prasarana Malaysia Berhad hopes that the government will continue to focus on the development of public transportation in the budget 2018 for the benefit of the people. Its Chief Executive Officer, Dato' Sri Azmi Abdul Aziz, said this is because various initiatives have been implemented recently to improve public transport networks for the convenience of the people.
Saya yakin dan percaya untuk bajet tahun ini, kerajaan akan meneruskan usaha tersebut sebab pelaburan di dalam pembangunan infrastruktur pengangkutan awam darat akan memberikan sumbangan yang terus, yang direct kepada rakyat bagi mengurangkan kesesakan jalan raya dan untuk meningkatkan produktiviti. Apabila meningkatnya produktiviti, ianya akan menyumbang pulangan net positif kepada GDP kita.
Datuk Seri Azmi said this to reporters after launching the Prasarana Workout at Work program in Petaling Jaya. Some 300 Prasarana employees joined the Workout at Work program to development human capital. The Langkawi tourism sector has not been affected by the recent floods which hit the resort island recently. This is because the tourists are aware that the floods were caused by weather and high tide and not by unmaintained drainage system. Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Ahmad Bashar Madhanipah is confident that Langkawi remains the main choice of domestic and international tourists. He said based on a report by the Department of Irrigation and Drainage, DID, Department of Environment, DOE, and the Malaysian Meteorological Department, the amount of rainfall and water quantity has increased.
Jadi saya yakin pelancong-pelancong pun tahu keadaan ini. Jadi bukan kerana sistem peparitan apa semua yang ni. Langkawi ini memang kita dah belanja peruntukan berbilion ringgit yang diberi oleh Kerajaan Persekutuan untuk naik taraf di seluruh prasarana di Langkawi. Tapi kalau hujan ini berlaku lebih sikit, kalau air laut, kalau sebelum ni kalau hujan turun air laut tak pasang.
Datuk Seri Ahmad Bashar said this to reporters after the Muafakat Ashura Wanita Serentak program in Alor Setar, Kedah. Malaysia aims to raise its export of tuna to Japan to 30,000 metric tons per year from its current 5,000 to 10,000 metric tons. Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Shabri Chik said it's achievable if the country's fishing industry fully utilizes the Malaysian quota of 135 vessels for tuna fishing in the Indian Ocean. The quota of 135 vessels per year for tuna fishing was obtained from the Indian Ocean Tuna Commission, IOTC, which Malaysia has been a member of since 1998. So far, only 12 of the quota had been taken.
Dari Amerika Syarikat juga, mereka juga mendapat kota yang terhad. Jadi mereka cemburu bila melihat pengusaha mereka cemburu bila melihat negara seperti Malaysia yang mendapat kota tapi tak menggunakan keseluruhannya. Jadi
apart from the shortage of fishing vessels, Datuk Shabri noted there are other constraints that need to be addressed, including licensing, landing and ports. He was met at the Farmers, Breeders and Fishermen's Day celebration at the Malaysian Agro Exposition Park, Serdang. That concludes this evening's news on 2. In our top story, TLDM sets up investigation board following death of 2 personnel. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Cynthia Marilyn Arthur. Stay tuned to TV2 and good night.